I was reading something the other day. It was saying 25% of women today have an STD and 25% of women have had an abortion. And that 45% of women by the age or by 2030 will be single and childless. So like that they're trying to make it the norm to cheat on your significant other, cheat on your kids, leave your family, you know, try to go grass is green on the other side. But at the end of the day, everyone's just going to live in a life of regret.
I don't know. Like for me as a father, I don't feel like and I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I don't feel like I really lived until about 8 months ago when my daughter was born. I don't feel like I ever loved my wife until and we've been together for years, until about 8 months ago when my daughter was born. It took the relationship a whole nother level, man. It made our bond stronger. We got way more intimate. It's amazing when you have a daughter or a son with a woman you love. It's just such an intimate experience with a human. Right?
Yep.
How was it for you?
Yeah. I mean, I met my wife in 2012. So we've been together about a little over 11 years. And it was into like when we first met, we were at like it wasn't like a bar, but like I was with my buddy who's a wingman. Yeah. Like my wingman, I was going out. And then on the other side, there was a restaurant. And she was with her family. They were like raising money for an Indian reservation thing because her family was like into it. Yeah. We ended up meeting, and then we went on one date. Then she went back to Colorado because she was living there full time. Okay. I flew out. I hung out with her for Thanksgiving. Then she came back, and then she actually moved into me, and we've lived together ever since.
Oh, that's great.
And then like at that point in time, I was at like a really interesting. I was a real estate agent back in 2012, and I thought that I was like hot shit because I sold a couple big houses and thought I was like had everything going. But it was literally as everything was coming down. Like I lost my driver's license on like a violation a few years before, but like caught up with me. And then she ended up driving me to all my listing appointments and like would just sit in the car like an hour, 2 hours. So I do these appointments and would basically we lived in like some crappy little apartment and basically like worked together and built everything. That's but nice, yeah, now we have 2 kids and she's incredible. And
nice, man.
Yeah, it's like very rare, I think, where now like society is so divided. Whether it be, they divide people through race, through political ideologies, through everything. Like, so to be able to find somebody today, like what you have and what I have, it's very rare. It should be cherished.
Yeah. What is your background, buddy?
Italian Asian? And Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some people was like, oh, this guy's Mexican. Like, this guy's Hindi or something. Like, this guy's like...
I think Chinese
yeah, someone's
African
like,
or
Chinese.
Something.
Like, everyone's like saying something. Like, maybe I should try to get some of that 1.2 million reparations money they're giving to people in California.
That is crazy, man. Is that, is that going to happen?
Yeah, they're like $100 billion they're pushing on the taxpayers. It's nuts. Like, California is absolutely crazy. I went through like an insane situation there. And actually, that was one of the main reasons why we left. I had some tenants sue me for $2 million. The city like backed them up. It was like insane. I literally paid this tenant to leave. She signed legal documents. She had an attorney. I had an attorney. I paid her $12,500 to leave. She finds out on social media 2.5 years later. And she's like, oh, this guy can afford to pay more. She went to the city. The city issued her an appointed attorney, paid from the taxpayer. And they sued me, and my insurance company handled it. But it was like, it was a nightmare. Like, it was just crazy. Only in California. If it happened anywhere else, like Florida, Texas, any other place, it would have been fine. But my attorney and the insurance company, they settled it. They're like, the only reason that we're settling it's not because of the facts of the case, but it's because if you go in front of a jury in downtown LA, it's going to be a jury of her peers, not a jury of yours. And you're the enemy in their eyes. Yeah. They see you on social media. They see what you're doing. It's not going to be a good look. And it's just like...
It's incredible how ungrateful some of these people are, man.
Yeah.
The landlord that goes, risks capital, puts things together, finds a good deal, if he even finds a good deal, manages the mortgage, manages the upkeep, manages the property maintenance, puts everything together, provides a clean, safe, let's say, quiet home for someone at a fair market price, and then they can still complain.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the person took so much risk, capital to actually provide something called housing. Someone did it. The government didn't do it. It didn't just end up there. It didn't just nowhere did I ever read a book that said everyone's entitled to a home.
Right.
I don't feel entitled to anything in life. Agree. I just don't. And my daughter will always think that your father's successful. Your father has a high income. You don't. And that's straight up, man. And I really believe that. Like my daughter, no, man. you know, just because this is my success. You didn't do anything for this.
Yeah.
You know, you're just born into coming with me. You know, you're my guest. You know, never feel entitled to anything. You know, I don't know how some people feel this level of entitlement. Yeah. It's mind-boggling. It's going to destroy our country.
Yeah, I mean, like that eviction moratorium in California, people think it's done. I think that it's just beginning. They planted a seed. I think eventually they're going to try to bring that insanity back, because it's just a really big opportunity for the government to grab more power from people. And they're never, once they take a little bit, they're going to take more and more and more. And I think that the more entitled tenants are, the more opportunity for landlords to want to fix up their properties, maintain their properties, invest in properties, fill tax revenue, like do everything that allows that city to be that city is going to start to erode.
If you've enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do so on my main YouTube channel by clicking the video here.